Oh, we all walk the wibbly wobbly walk, and we all talk the wibbly wobbly walk, and we all wear wibbly wobbly ties, and look at all the pretty girls with cellulite encrusted thighs. Wibbly wobbly. Yeah, well, that's what dimmer switches are made for, but what can you do? Anyway, how's it going, everybody? I forgot. I forgot I was an online fucking, minor fucking idiot with no viewers and a dead channel that had its glory days almost a decade ago. Those were the days. Those are the days. Oh, giving people nervous breakdowns, causing grief, winding people. It's just a bit of banter. Just a bit of banter. Some people take it too seriously. Yeah. Do you remember the days of Andy Hunter and his fake fucking Patek? Yeah, it was a Chinese made shitter, that was. Anyway, he hasn't been seen much recently. Not since his funeral. That was his last appearance being live streamed on his funeral. Yeah, yeah. Wonder who else is going to die. I mean, who's next? Who's next? I mean, we've got a few candidates. Nobody lives forever. Well, that's a weird world we live in. There's quite a few of these YouTubers died, or people associated with the YouTubery. Nick Kennelly, Randy Munter, Wasp, poor old Wasp, gone but not forgotten. Yeah. And I'm sure some other ones, some minor ones, but Anyway, enough about death, and people dying, because it's not all fun on this program. We have to have some serious stuff. Politically, yeah, we live in an interesting time, don't we? Oh dear, oh dearie me, poor old Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, started the year with an estimated total wealth of 450 billion, or 430 billion, was it? And he's lost about 150 billion. So he's worth about 270, 280 billion. But that's only in bullshit monopoly money on the shares market. The value of shares is what you actually get when you sell them. Deducting what you paid for them, and then he's having difficulty. He's having difficulty with his Cybertrucks, isn't he? Oh no, every single one of them is falling to bits because he used the wrong kind of glue. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, breaks my heart, that does. Breaks my heart. Terrible. Hard-working, lovely, smart fella like that. Trying to help people by saving money. Yeah. Yeah, well, the more you look at it, the more it appears that Trump and his mates are actually a bunch of wankers. I mean, they're a bunch of greedy, malicious cunts, Fucking Elon Musk wanting to close down the Federal Aviation Authority, which coincidentally is the same government department that fined him over his fucking constantly exploding rockets. So it ain't safe to fly on American flights now. Don't go there on your holiday. It really isn't worth it, Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame, really, because America, there's a lot to be said for America. They do get a lot of stuff right. They do a lot of things brilliantly, including being cunts, So we're embarking on an interesting 4 years, and that's what, 4 years, 48 months, So we've got another 45 months to go. Oh God, is he going to try and stand for a third time and run for a third time? And if he does, if they go, well, you can run, but you ain't going to get voted in, but we'll let you run just so we can laugh at you. And When he doesn't get it, he'll fucking sulk again. Yeah, but he doesn't seem to have so much support as he did last time, you know. He's in for a hard time because it's straight off the bat. He's fucking with things in a fundamental way. He's going too far with his shit. There's big tariffs that are just going to fucking. I mean, he's knocked $4 trillion off the stock market. Oh God. Anyway, enough politics. Not your cup of tea. Fair enough. Because I don't want to be a political type, but oh my God. I shouldn't say this. It's a bit incorrect, but you know, even though loads of people are suffering, it's giving me a right old fucking laugh. Just laughing at the pricks fucking it all up. You know, fucking Elon Musk. Where's that 150 billion gone, Elon? Oh, you've lost it. Have a look around. I'll check behind the sofa. Yeah, the cunt who runs Amazon, Bezos, he's lost about 29 billion. Mark Zuckerberg, the Facebook cunt, he's lost 5 billion. All the people who backed him thinking, yeah, it'll be great, we'll get some fucking, we'll be able to get even richer. Not working out for them. Not working out for them. Anyway, I've been, had a bit of a lead on JD Vance. Apparently, Musk and a bunch of other people have been pushing Trump to get JD Vance as the vice president. Apparently, that's the real story he wants to keep an eye on. But yeah, he's pretty foul. President of Ukraine, that's Zelensky geezer. He says Putin will be dead soon. Yeah, get my arseholes mixed up, and I don't know my arsehole from my elbow. But yeah, that's quite telling that he'd go public with something like that. But yeah, Putin. A lot of mothers and wives must be upset about their men not coming home. There's a lot of Russian lives been lost on Ukrainian soil. I really ought to investigate that a bit more, but I hear that the Russians have been using chemical weapons, riot control agents to sort of. So hopefully, fingers crossed, can we all send gas masks? I mean, I'm not talking about us personally, but you know, European governments. Let's send gas masks to Ukraine. You know, and I'm not sure on the legality of this, but I don't know, but I think this might be from World War II era. But if your enemy uses chemical weapons, probably such as nerve gas, you can actually use them in retaliation. So that could be interesting, because I'm quite into all that stuff. You know, the Cold War era, nuclear bombs. You know, used to be ABC, then it was NBC, now it's CBRN. All this nuclear nerve agents, chemical weapons, nuclear bombs and shit, and all the safety equipment. You know, noddy suits and gas masks. I'm into all that. I have a real passion for it. So it'd be interesting if that became a big thing. Last time it was a big thing was I can't remember what area it was, but yeah, Novichok was used on British soil, which I really disapprove of. That was a big chemical weapons story, and before that, probably Gulf War One, because they talk about Gulf War syndrome. They're on about it for years. People are going, "Oh, they're just faking it." No, a bunch of fucking veterans are all displaying the same symptoms and discussing shit. They're not doing it because they're bored or they want a bit of attention. There's obviously something going on. It turns out it was exposure to chemical weapons. You know, Saddam Hussein. We knew he had chemical weapons. Well, how did we know? Well, we fucking sold him the fucking ingredients. Yeah, this sort of thing happens, far too often. Saddam Hussein and Osama bin Laden, they were our allies. Well, it's that kind of thing of my enemy's enemy is my ally. Well, not necessarily. You can have two enemies fighting each other, and they're both cunts, and you side up with one, go, yeah, we'll give you a hand, and they're like, oh, nice one, mate. And they'll fucking turn on you because they're cunts, But anyway, yeah, the Ukrainians never done shit to us, so it's not like we're risking anything by being their allies and helping them out, So I don't want to get distracted and think I'm implying something like just because we hate Putin, or we'll help the Ukrainians, and then they might. But no, it's a good bunch of the Ukrainians. Certainly, some of those Ukrainian women. I'm not saying all Ukrainian women are gorgeous and make pornography, but the ones who do are absolutely brilliant at it. And unfortunately, some brilliant Russian birds as well. But I'm going to have to boycott Russian porno videos, Although technically, I should be allowed to watch the pre-war or the pre-Crimea porno because that it's much more innocent time. But yeah, I do like European birds. I think American porn is well, I got fed up of it. Too many of them have tattoos all over the show, and their tits are just too big and too fake, too rubbish. No, I'm more into natural girls. Yeah. I mean, because some of them, they have that much fucking plastic surgery, they may as well have bought themselves a new fucking head. You look at the latest films, you're like, oh, who's she? When's that bird I fucking Googled coming on? And it is her. I think Aletta Ocean, she fucking, she can't be recognised now. But no, I think my favourite porno decade was the 90s. Because it still had your big air of the 80s, but with more of a rock infused soundtrack. Because I mean, 80s porn, it was too synth heavy. I mean, people think porn soundtracks, they usually think of the organ tuned with a wah-wah guitar, but no. I mean, it changes decade to decade. You went from your 16 mil to your early video, and now it's full high definition. You can see the lot. See the occasional cheeky hair on some bird's arsehole, which I don't really appreciate that. I don't like a bird with an hairy arsehole, and I don't want to be prejudiced against birds with hairy arseholes, but can you fucking sort it out, girl? Sort your arsehole out. Come on, dog. Out of my way. Come on, bulldog. Come on. Stop lying on top of me. I'm going numb. Oh, what's that? Something over there. Go on, get it. Oh, yeah. Investigate it. Investigate the area. That's it, security dog. It doesn't keep my fucking sanity very secure. Fucking. But it's grown bigger and more powerful. Yeah, with a greater capacity for fucking. I had a Dennis Wheatley book eaten the other week. Oh my god. Had to buy another. Much more expensive because the first one I got from a charity shop for £1. Cost me £8 to replace it, but I don't mind. In the greater scheme of things, it's only an old book and I shouldn't have fucking left it in an area where the monster could get to it. But anyway. What was I saying? Yeah, so anyway, this book, it got damaged. I replaced it. And I was thinking, you know what? I could cut some of the pictures out, frame them up on the wall, like black magic and demons and, saucy, naked witches doing ceremony. It's quite sexual, your Satanism. I'm going to have to get into hosting some ceremonies, inviting the local witches round. You know, well, I think I could be quite a good satanic cult leader. You know, not into this murdering lark. I'm just into the kinky orgies. Preferably, you know, I mean, low key minimalist orgies, one at a time, sort of thing. I'm a bit too shy for the threesomes and foursomes. And let's face it, you know, the reality isn't as good as your expectation. Yeah. I did have a go at it once, and it worked out fucking horrifically. I won't even go into it, and you won't believe me. Well, I suppose some aspects of it you would, but I'll just say it was disastrous. Yeah, one at a time with the birds, one at a time. But you know, you can have them both in the house at the same time. One doing the housework and the cleaning, as it is a woman's fucking moral duty to, and they're genetically made for it. Women are shorter. Yeah, closer to the floor so they can get on their knees and scrub it clean. That's what I say. Yeah, keep them on a chain that allows them to go from the kitchen to the bedroom and no fucking further. Keep them out of the man cave. Oh yeah, keep them away from your porn. You don't want women seeing your porn. You know. Anyway, I'll tell you another thing about porn. Right? Here's a good tip. Right? Watch porn with women who are slightly less attractive than the birds you're actually shagging in real life. Honestly, lower your standards, right? Lower your standards with your porn. Jerking off over cute but, you know, slightly flawed women, right? And then when you invite a real bird back and you're doing the dirty deed of darkness, right? She's fitter than the birds you've been fucking fantasizing about. Honestly, that's the way to go, right? So watch old-fashioned porn with the lesser actresses who've got subtle flaws and imperfections and scrubbers, basically, right? So when you pull an half-decent-looking bird back, you're in heaven. You know what I mean? That's how it's done. Psychology. You're welcome. It might work for you, birds and all. You know, start fucking focusing your attention on slightly ugly men who are a bit rough, right? Not as nice as the blokes you actually date, right? And you know, it'll be an improvement. It's like banging your head against the wall. You know, you'll feel an enormous sense of relief when you stop doing it. You know. Anyway, that's enough tips from me. Have you seen the fucking have you seen the thumbnail for this video? Fucking hilarious. Yeah. I didn't come up with that. That is one that was messaged to me. But fucking hell, if you are an absolute fucking closet Nazi who loves Hitler and the swastika and everything those fucking evil scumbag bastards stand for, right? You can get yourself a Tesla, right? Just spray paint swastikas and Sieg Heil mein Führer and I heart Hitler and I am a Nazi, right, all over the fucking thing. And just drive around. If the police pull you up, they'll go, what the fuck's this about? You go, oh, it's those kids. It's those fucking liberal kids. Look what they've done to it. Are you going to investigate them? I'll give you my details. They're like, no. Just drive on. You. Oh, they can't do a fucking thing. You're driving around. Yeah. Get some Adolf Hitler fluffy dice, you know, you'd be laughing, ratting around in your Nazi mobile. And everyone's going, ha, look, ha, somebody's fucking done his car. And you're going, yeah, it was me. Park it outside the synagogue. I'm so sorry. bought this car. I had no idea that he was a knobhead. Yeah, oh, it won't come off. Well, I was scrubbing away for hours. I couldn't shift it. Yeah. Oh, terrible, isn't it? Terrible. But, you know, if you do own a Tesla, I'll tell you what, if you want to buy a Tesla, I think the prices used have never been so low. You know, so, you know, good news for the closet Nazis. At least somebody's got a chance to express themselves and be happy in this mixed up world we call the world. What a world. As far as the dogging scene goes, and when I say the dogging scene, I don't mean the kinky sex dogging scene. I mean the boring old middle-aged farts hanging around on parks with their dogs. Talking about zombie films from the 1980s last night. Yeah, I know a bit about that. Not a lot. I know the basics, but I know them well. Yeah. But I want to move more into the cannibals sort of stream of things. Yeah, lovely bit of stuff. Yeah, anyway, so yeah, we're displaying a vintage Canvy photo. Oh. You can't see it because you don't know me, but that is so my smart Alec fucking grin from when I was a fucking teenager. Well, maybe a bit younger than a teenager, I don't know. But yeah, I do have a lopsided smart Alec grin when I do a grin, which I don't grin that. Got nothing to grin about these days. Oh, state of the fucking world, the corruption, the scumbaggery, the vicissitudes of the modern world. Oh, really beaten to death with sticks, some people. Beating to death. And then shitting on. Diarrhea and sweet corn all over their freshly murdered corpse. That's what I say. Yeah, I don't mean it. No, I'm being satirical. But no, I think there are some people who need. I'm not going to name them, but yeah. Yeah, I'd like to get back into the JFK conspiracy theory bullshit scene, you know, which involves coming up with mad theory. You know, Elvis did it. It was Jack the Ripper. You know, Vienna fucking girls marching band. It could have been anyone. Could even have been Lee Harvey Oswald himself. Interesting character, Oswald. A lot of things don't make sense. He was up to something. You know, he's on the street handing out leaflets, fair play for Cuba, saying he's a Marxist but not a communist. And at the same time, he's talking to anti-Castro rebels, saying he can help them out. And then he's got this very staged fucking thing where he's being beaten up on the street. It's weird. A very strange, dark world, and it all happened, what, 60 odd years ago? 62 years ago, was it? Yeah. And it's just come back into the public eye with Donald Trump supposedly releasing the JFK files. They're still redacted. I mean, but he made the mistake of releasing them with people's fucking addresses and fucking personal details still attached to them because he doesn't give a fuck about regulations and laws. And how he was allowed to stand for a second term, I don't know. I do not fucking know. You'd think with a criminal conviction, he should have been taken out of the fucking race. But, you know, apparently that's America. That's where it's got to. It's all about who controls the fucking media and who can pay fucking huge donations and help out. And it's a worrying time. Because Trump's not the brightest of people. He's just sly. But he's morally vacuous. entirely fucking selfish and narcissistical, a twisted, evil monster in many respects. And of course, he poos in his pants. You know, the position I've always maintained: you poo in the potty, not in your pants. But Donald Trump, he poos in his pants on a daily basis, several times a day. He's always pooing in his pants. Wears a fucking adult diaper, the diaper Don. He has his team. They have to pull his trousers down and change his diaper and spray his bottom and put fucking talcum powder on his fucking crack. You know, the full sight of his shriveled little mushroom dick and yeti pubes. Oh god. What else is going on then? Well, I need a new strap for my watch. I haven't decided quite what I'm going to get, but if I do, I'll tell you all about it. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I fancy a rubber one. I fancy a Italian rubber, maybe. Don't know. Could go for a NATO. I might splash out on a bit of fancy Italian leather. Get myself a collar reb. Oh, I love a collar reb, me. Do you like a collar reb? Yeah. I ought to make a video about collar reb straps. Watch Candy Wrist Club. Wrist Candy Watch Club. Wrist Candy Watch. Watch what you say. Yeah, I'm getting very sleepy. I'm sleepyfied. Yeah, I don't know if I got up very early or if I'm going to bed very late. I can't understand anymore. I've lost track of reality. I don't know how many days I've been awake. I've been watching the fucking constant updates. Yeah, you get up in the morning and you hold that remote in your hand to turn the fucking TV on. When I say TV, it's a television set, but it's not actually. I don't have TV anymore as far as channels go. I haven't had for 3-4 years now. I just have YouTube and Kodi, the media player, XBMC, as was. And I hold that thing thinking, what the fuck has Donald Trump done now? Because that's basically what the YouTube news stream is. Stupid shit that Donald Trump's done. Sent that prick JD Vance off to Greenland. First it was his fucking wife. She was getting there, goes like, oh, come along as well. And it entirely consisted of him visiting the only place that would accept him, which was an American military base they've got there. No one else had fucking been like, no, you're not coming to watch the dog races. We don't want you. No, you're not visiting us. We're not interested. So, yeah, bit of a fucking, bit of a diplomatic embarrassment. You visit a country and the only people who'll talk to you are your own fucking military because they duty bound have to let you in because you get cold. Yeah, he pissed them all off. He's walking around with a cap on that says once a Marine, always a Marine. He was a fucking correspondent. He was basically a journalist in the Marines. He was either behind a desk or going around taking photos for propaganda purposes, that kind of thing. He's not seen combat. Right? He's not a combat veteran. He's former serviceman, but you know, it wasn't the kind of service real Marines see. You know, he did his 4-year stint, and he got into Yale. You know, because that's the thing. The Americans, they do love their military. Well, they do these days. They didn't like them very much in the 70s after Vietnam, protesting them, calling them baby killers, protesting the war. You know, have you seen Rambo? Well, First Blood. Yeah, but no, they've always had this thing. They do a lot for their veterans. They find them jobs. They put them on medical programs when they've got all sorts of shit. Veterans hospitals. They pay for them to have proper funerals. I mean, if you were in the Marine Corps, You can die with fucking 50 cents in your pocket. You'll still get a funeral and you'll be in the fucking graveyard with all your brothers, right? They don't skimp on that shit because we all take the piss out of America, but there's some things they're very serious about. One is looking after their veterans, and the federal employees, practically 1 in every 3, are veterans because they sort them out with government jobs. Well, they did till fucking Trump and Musk came along because a lot of these people have been sacking are veterans. Now, do the math, think about it, right? He's pissed off all the judges and the cops, for freeing all the January 6th fucking insurrectionists, right? Who assaulted fucking cops. He's pissed all the cops off, all the judges, all the attorneys, everybody there. Now he's pissing all the veterans and the current military off. Because anyone who's in the military and thinking, I'm going to coming out soon, what the fuck's society got in store for me? Because Elon Musk has been slashing loads of programs quite illegally as well. It's fucking horrifical, isn't it? Because I do like taking the piss and having a laugh and being a cunt, Don't we all? Everyone's a bit of a cunt sometimes. But when you're shitting on the veterans, a lot of whom are living with disabilities and injuries, they acquired fucking serving their country. I mean, they've had fucking 20 years in Afghanistan and Iraq to fucking build up a huge number of some very fucking injured, traumatized, and disadvantaged people who'd gone in there to willingly serve their country. They've got fucked up and they're attempting to take away programs specifically designed to fucking help them. I mean, it's enough to fucking give anyone the ump. I'm serious about some of this shit I say every once in a while. I was fucking fully serious through fucking COVID, wear a mask, get your vaccination, don't listen to the dickheads, stay away from fucking hotspots and stuff. And, a few people did follow my advice. The best thing you can do is get a proper respirator. Yeah. The Ukrainians could do with a few at the moment. Oh, it's dirty. Well, it's not the Russians that I've got a problem with. The Russian people, they're duty bound to keep their mouths shut about what the leader's up to because they'll get into fucking serious trouble if they fucking talk out, but I'm sure most of them are pretty fucking cynical about Putin and don't like what's going on. And I feel sorry for the Russians that are suffering, being forced into a fucking war that they're fucking finding out as they go along is fucking horrifical. It's just Putin and his policies I dislike, most of them. I'm sure there are plenty of Russians who support it and think it's fucking brilliant. Well, they're just knobheads. This is a kind of war that you can't defend, it's just fucking pretty much illegal. Yeah, apparently Trump's getting pissed off with Putin as well. Or as the Americans call him, Putin. Putin, Mr. Putin, a bit like Mr. Pooter. You ever read that book, Diary of a Nobody? Oh, they did a TV show, Hugh Bonneville. Very good thing, Mr. Pooter, Mr. Putin. He was a bit of a knobhead with Mr. Pooter. Yeah, he painted his bath red. The next time he took a bath, it all came off in the water and he was red as well. I started reading his autobiography. I got fed up very quickly. Charity shop jobs I fucking put it down straight. I was like, not very good. It'd be interesting if Gary Oldman wrote his memoirs. I do like a bit of Gary Oldman and his recent stuff in Slow Horses. That's good. Because it's a black comedy. It's a dark drama with some funny bits in it. You know, Kristen Scott Thomas is in it. You know, it's very good. A man who is frequently flatulent and boasts about having a belly full of curry that he's about to fucking get rid of, and vulgarities like that. When the opening scene, he farts himself awake. He's lying there sleeping and he farts and wakes up and goes, "What the fuck?" Dogs do that as well. Dogs have been known to fart themselves awake. I don't think I've ever farted myself awake. Anyway, I think I've done enough. I've left you enough to realise, oh, he did a stream. What's he on about? You know, I feel a bit sad at the moment, to be honest. I mean, it's depressing. I mean, it's the fucking shit they're doing to the veterans in America. It's like, there's nothing worse than the sheer brutality, inhumanity, and soullessness of fucking with people. Just like sacking people from their jobs. And, you know, when America cuts foreign aid, they're going, oh, so many million in foreign aid. But you look at it, and it's like rubber johnnies for Africans. And you think, oh, couldn't they buy their own rubber johnnies? You know. Well, the money never leaves America. They take that money. It gets paid to workers in the rubber johnny factory, or condoms. You know, as the Yanks call them, condoms, or plunkers. You know, johnny bags, Durex. My favourite term, scumbags. That's what scumbag is. It's a condom. A scumbag, a bag to shoot your scum in. Yeah. So you don't knock a bird up and have to fucking deal with marriage and child support and divorce and alimony and heartbreak and fucking nuisance and worry, stress, brain damage. Yeah, you can't trust women to be on the fucking pill. Always wear a johnny when you're dealing with a roughen. Oh, yeah. Anyway, yeah, so they're paid to make these johnnies. They're paid to transport them. They pay themselves to ship them over. The money never leaves America. It keeps people gainfully employed, and they pay tax. And they go and spend their wages on, I don't know, wobble-headed ornaments that go on shelves. That's what Americans spend their money on. Yeah, the bobbleheads or whatever they call them. Funko Pops, I think, is one of the brands. That's what they're into. And robots that turn into shit. I don't know. Mad bunch. But yeah, they spend their money on consumer goods, and they pay tax on that again, and people are paid to make the consumer goods that they spend their money on. That's how an economy works. You fucking sack a lot of people, your welfare bill goes up, your tax revenue goes down, and they're spending it on essentials and not items you can make a higher profit margin from. It's a delicate biosphere, or whatever the term is. You know what I mean? Everything's correlated. It's like you fuck with an alpha predator and you're going, great, the cat's gone, the mice, that they can live an happy life, but they don't live an happy life. They just breed exponentially, and then they eat all the food, and then the other animals that normally eat the food the mouse have already eaten, they die out. Because they've died out, the animals that feed on them can't have it, and it fucks up. It doesn't take much to throw things out of balance, and economics, fiscal structures, you know, the benefit systems, healthcare systems, once you've thrown a spanner in the works, that thing will be bouncing around it in every fucking cog for fucking months, if not years to come. And Trump just turns around and goes, well, we inherited a very messed up economy. It was a mess when I got here. Joe Biden fucked it all up, and I'm having to fucking rebuild it, and it's going to be great. We're going to be so winning, you know. It'll go away with the heat. It'll be fine. No, it's not going to be. He's fucked it up. And all you pricks who've supported Trump and say, oh, you know, I think he's an honest man. And no, he's a crook. He's a crooked real estate dealer with a whore of a wife and retards for children. Brainwashed, idiotic fucking scumbags. And you've got another 45 months of that prick. Oh dear. I mean, it's not just America, it's the rest of the world where he's doing his tariffs. Doesn't understand how tariffs work. And there's all the retaliatory tariffs and the boycotts that are going on. It's going to be interesting watching him fall apart, because he's realised at this point that he's fucked up, and he's not gonna fucking change direction and try and reverse it. Although there's a good chance he'll sack Musk and blame him and go, oh, you know, I thought he was a nice guy, but it turns out he's a dickhead. I didn't know. I thought that Cybertruck was really cool, and you know, he's doing like fancy electric cars that were brilliant. But oh no, it turns out he was a crook. He was a wrong one. Oh dear. I'm glad I found out in time. We're gonna fix it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Who could he put in charge? Who'd be the last person you'd want in charge of American government departments? Yeah. Pee Wee Herman and Charles Manson are dead, so they can't do it. I'm trying to think. Who would be the last person you'd trust? Who's that bloke who got his knob cut by a woman? Do you remember him? John Wayne Bobbitt. Put him in charge of making cuts. Oh, apparently Snow White was dreadful. Oh, fuck it. They were complaining, oh, it's a woke film. Oh, it's rubbish. It's this, it's that. It's a fucking film about a fairy tale princess who lives with 7 very short men in a shed in the woods. It can't ever possibly be anything but a load of old childish shit, right? You watch proper films like The Godfather, and the fucking The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And you know, if you want something childish and sentimental, watch Star Wars, the original proper ones from the 70s and 80s, not that fucking modern shit. It's all computer graphics now. It's a load of crap. You know, do it old school, proper rubber masks and squibs and blood bags, and you know, stuntmen smashing the fuck out of everything. Hey, talking of stuntmen, I saw this one about this fucking French mush. Chopped his own head off when he got stumped on. He went too fast and hit the ceiling on the inside of a bus and severed his upper torso. It's like he goes into this line of buses and, you know, the car comes out, no driver, it's all stumps. Oh, yeah. Tore his head and an arm off. Yeah, I always find out more about that. Yeah. As I said, I might be getting back into JFK, so the Zapruder footage, you know, back and to the left. Head blown right to bits. Terrible state of affairs that was. Especially for Jackie Kennedy, who sat right next to him and was like, what the fuck, there's bullets flying past. And then he flops and she's trying to grab his brains off the back of the car and put them back in his head. You know. Fucking hell. The theory I heard that makes sense was it was one of his own security guys fired by accident. His finger was on the trigger and he was just like, it was pointed right at the president's head. Whoopsie daisy. You know, but as Lemmy said, you know, you can be sure that the CIA weren't involved. And you go, why? Well, because he's fucking dead. Yeah. Oh, well. Well. You know, bit of a downer, recent events. I mean, you can only laugh at the mistakes so much before you start realising there's a human tragedy to some very vulnerable people on the edge whose lifelines are being destroyed. Yeah. Here we go. Bit of Guns N' Roses.
Get retirement ready with the award-winning Aviva pension.
Aviva pension. You can stick your pension up your arse. Don't fucking bother with them. Axl Rose when he still had a voice before he blew it. Yeah, it's Use Your Illusion tour to blame on that. They didn't give him enough rest in between fucking gigs. He didn't want to do a tour that big, but fucking there's so much pressure from the fucking record company. So much of their money was getting fucking spent on fucking hospitality for everyone involved in the record company. They got sucked dry on that tour. It was running at a loss, and then they decided to sack all the superficial shit and just did it as dust and bones when they finished it off. They actually turned a bit of a profit, but mostly made sure they didn't make a loss. But yeah, the biggest tour in the world, and pretty much just about managed to pay for it with a little profit. They worked for nothing on that thing, apart from the fact that all the record executives and the freeloaders and the fucking knobheads were all having rock and roll parties and living the fantasy going along with them. They pissed a lot of their money away, Guns N' Roses, and eventually clawed quite a bit of it back. But yeah, there was all sorts of shit going on. Oh, look at this. There's a video here. Harley versus Honda. Which one is truly the best? Yeah, which one? You know, you get the original 1930s Harley, you know, all original parts in very good condition. And beat the arse of any new fucking Honda on value because it's a fucking antique. You know, you can't argue with that. But a bog standard modern Harley against a fucking top of the range new Honda, or equal prices because Harleys are fucking expensive. Honda could well kick its ass. I mean, no Harley Davidson bike has ever won the Isle of Man TT. They've not won any MotoGPs. What races do they win? A drag race, you know, in the car park of Jack's Bar. That's about the only race a Harley's going to win. Yeah. Yeah, but you know what? 95% of all the Harleys built are still on the road. Yeah. Only 5% of them made it home. It's a joke, isn't it? It's a joke. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to snuggle up with the dog and get lying. And you lot can do what the fuck you want, but I will be reclaiming my throne as an online stream. I'm going to get a weekly slot and start fucking doing a bit of content. You know, I don't know what. I don't know when exactly, but yeah, we'll be making a comeback. Yeah, I've got to have presents on the internet. So I could pop in as a guest somewhere. I'll see if anyone's mentioning about it wants a foul-tempered cunt as a guest on the show, or possibly a very twisted Jimmy Savile impression. Yeah. Oh, we all love a bit of Jimmy Savile. You say you don't, but you miss him. You miss him. He's part of your childhood. And no matter how horrific those false accusations were, you still love him. Even though everyone says he was a bad man, he wasn't. He wasn't. He was kind. He made all those children's dreams come true. He stood around the studio looking like a twat, introducing pop songs far more interesting than him. You know. Right, we'll find out what's better, Harley or Hodger. You lot can do what you want. And yeah, have a nice day. Get on with it. I'll see you around.